I'm from Massachusetts, and I wanted to know where the Beatles stayed when they came here.
What hotel did the Beatles stay in?
The Edgewater.
The Edgewater. Would it be the Edgewater?
Is this trolley going to get me to the Edgewater Hotel? Oh, excellent. Thank you very much.
This room is the Beatles Suite, and it's named the Beatles Suite because in 1964, when the Fab Four came to Seattle on their first American tour, they stayed in this guest room.
Wow, we're really dating ourselves now, aren't we? But yeah, back in rock and roll's heyday, the Beatles, and more notoriously Led Zeppelin, all stayed at the Edgewater.
And in 1964, these rooms were actually, it was 2 rooms that we created into one full suite.
Now what you do is you hop a Seattle trolley car here and you head north. You take this up to Pier 67 or Vine Street Station, and there's the Edgewater. Now the Edgewater itself is a very misleading name. It should actually be sort of the in-water, I think, because it's actually built out on pylons that go out into the bay. You know, back in the 60s and 70s, there was actually a fishing shop in the lobby of the hotel, so guests could fish out of their windows, which is what the Beatles did when they came here for their first US tour back in 1964.
Who's that ugly lad leaning out the window with us?
That was, interestingly enough, probably the most famous rock band at the time that stayed at the Edgewater. And over the years, the hotel has this sort of history and cachet among the entertainment industry. And so we've just had numerous rock stars and celebrities have gravitated to the Edgewater since 1964.
Now the Rolling Stones,
Ziggy Marley,
the Kinks,
Kiss, threw everything from the guest rooms into the water. Just tossed everything out in the sound.
Neil Young,
the Monkees,
just in the
Led Zeppelin,
all stayed here at the Edgewater. Now, back in 1969, Led Zeppelin were really on the rise, and their fans were, well, insatiable and rather unconventional.
I'll read to you from a recent issue of Rolling Stone magazine rather than reciting it myself.
Now, what transpired here one night after a day of fishing, well, it was rather depraved and would only be referred to by band members and their wives, who were all present at the time, as the shark incident.
Drummer John Bonham was fishing out of a hotel window and caught some red snappers and mud sharks. After the show, the band was drinking with members of Vanilla Fudge and a 17-year-old groupie. It would be difficult to underestimate the disgustingness of what happened next.
And it happened right in here. Now, the Edgewater has since gone under a beautiful and very tasteful renovation, and all memories of that night of debauchery have since been stripped away. Although I think I can still detect a little something. Pretty gross, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You know, 2 buildings north of the Edgewater on Seattle's waterfront at Pier 70 is where MTV converted the building into apartments for the cast of the 7th season of Real World. Anyway, you're not allowed to live here on the piers and the waterfront, so MTV had to register this building as a 24-hour movie production set. The cast would live here and they'd work at a radio station here in Seattle that's still on the air today, The End, 107.7 FM. Ringing any bells? No? Okay, we'll move on. From Singles to Say Anything, from Sleepless in Seattle to Austin Powers, Seattle has served as the backdrop for many major Hollywood productions. The apartment that was featured in the movie Singles is right here, on the corner of 19th and Thomas on Capitol Hill.
Does everybody go through this?
No, I think just us.
Hey, Jonah!
People always want to know where's the houseboat that Tom Hanks lived in the movie Sleepless in Seattle.
Jonah! Jonah!
Now for that, you have to come back into town to the shores of Lake Union. Just across the way there, you can see the houseboat communities line both sides of the lake. And on the western side is the actual houseboat. It's the one with the lights on there. Hey, Tom!
Jonah!
Yes. Finally, the second Austin Powers film, The Spy Who Shagged Me, was partly shot here in Seattle at the Space Needle. No, really it was. That wasn't an effect. Space Needle. Chance for me to use my tour guide training. The Space Needle is 605 feet tall. It was built in 1962 as part of the World's Fair. The elevators travel at a speed of 10 miles. Oh, come on, this is good tourist video content. You need to know this sort of stuff. Ah, all right, I'll wrap it up. Well, that just about covers it. We did Bill Gates, Bruce Lee, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix. I can't think of anything else we want to see.
I'd really like to know where Kenny G lives.
No, I think we've covered everything.
Kenny G, Kenny G.
Oh, look at the time. We really got to go. Look, join us next time when we take a twisted tour of, I don't know, Vancouver, San Francisco, perhaps. Guys, you ever been to New Orleans? Oh, I know. Where's Michael Bolton live? Who cares? Because we're not going there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude of... Well, it says 6 feet. Must be right. Well, on behalf of your flight crew, we'd like to thank you for flying with us this afternoon from Seattle to... Well, this is embarrassing. I have no idea.